button. No, I hit the wrong button. Sorry, jeez.
No, started. No, you're right.
Oh, has it started? Yeah. Okay, we're there. Folks, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to you all at home and wherever you happen to be watching us from. Whether you're watching us live, on replay, in the group, on YouTube, wherever you have to be, you're all very welcome. Joining me this evening is Mike Reedy. Familiar face to you all. Also, another familiar face to you all. We have Richard Holland. We have Dara Weston's lovely empty room. That's lovely, Dara. Well done. If you'd mind just taking your seat, that'd be great. And we also have a man who he was on with us last week. He's a Munster fan, but he has recently, folks, I bet you didn't know this. He recently has been made a president of the Mike Haley fan club. Would you believe that? Dave Sheedy, how the hell are you?
Heck right off. I'm good. Bit cold.
Right, okay, folks.
He was transitioning to a Leinster fan or something.
Definitely not over my dead body.
Dara Weston, where the fuck are you? All I can see is your fucking living room or an AI picture of your living room.
It's just a background thing. Sorry, I don't know why my camera's
we can't see you at all.
Yeah, okay, I'll come out and come back in.
Jesus. It's very difficult to get good.
Maybe it's better to leave it the way it was.
I was just thinking.
Now, hold on, folks. Let's not spend half an hour on the games as we did last week because we've loads to get through, as you know, as I said. Yeah,
can we forget about the games?
No, we just go briefly through them. So, Mike Reedy, as in order as the games happened, we had Ulster 36, Ospreys 12. Not a huge shock there. Did you see that game, Mike?
Yeah, I did. No, listen, Ospreys were absolutely dreadful, completely dire. One positive they could take from the game. Ulster played very well. Stockdale had his best game in probably 5 years, and I think as a result, he's been called into the Ireland squad. On the Ulster played well, and they deserved their full complement of points. 5 points, the bonus point, and I will say John Cooney is the man though at 9 from. I'm afraid Mr. Doak is not cutting the mustard for me as a scrum for Ulster. And
right. Okay, I don't want to spend. Sorry, Mike. I don't want to spend too long on the games. Richard Holland, what did you think of that game?
Just get in, get the job done, get out. That's exactly what Ulster done. Come away with 5 points. As Mike said, it's probably the best game I've seen Colin play in a long time. Yeah, job done. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Dave Sheedy.
Didn't see it, and know nothing about it, but it sounds like I missed a good game. Feck it.
It was a good game, and in fairness, I know I slag him, but Stockdale did have a good game. And I suppose
heard that.
Deserved inclusion, I suppose, in the squad name today, which we'll come on to after this. Claire Devaney, Ulster v Ospreys.
Jacob was reading back the years. Literally reading back the years. He was Jacob of all. That's mainly it. Stockdale
from 2018, Claire.
Yes, that would have been it. Was that long ago? Oh my God, we're getting old.
He's like Samson again. He's growing his hair, and there we go.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Dara Weston, Ulster v Ospreys.
Yeah, what the lads have said. Return to form finally for Stockdale. Hopefully onwards and upwards for them.
Okay. Before we move on, hello Megan, hello Gregor, hello Joe Lyons. How are you doing?
Back.
Joe Lyons, Stoke is such a disappointment, so much talent and ability, but just not developing in the player we all hoped he would when ripping it up in the under-20s. Yes, very true. Okay, Dara Weston, Stormers 34, Munster 19.
Do you not want to ask Dave first?
No, go on. I'm saving Dave.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it, to be honest now.
All right, okay. Thanks, Dara. Mike Reedy, that particular game.
Dreadful from Munster for on. Dreadful. Crowley had probably his poorest game I've ever seen him play for anybody. Through 2 intercept passes.
Yeah.
Poor they were. The line-out was an absolute shambles from start to finish. the scrum didn't function. There was very few positives for me. I mean, the fact that they were playing away in South Africa is the only slight. And Munster still could have won that game. As poorly as they played, they still could have won that game. The Stormers are not a good side.
That's the Stormers' first win this season.
Yeah, and they're not a great side. But I'll tell you one thing: Munster have the Sharks this weekend, and that is not going to be funny.
That's not going to be funny. Now, Claire Devaney, what did you think about that?
Yeah,
game?
Just the 2 intercept tries from Jack Crowley. I know at the end they were going for the losing bonus point, but Jack Crowley was just like, as soon as the ball got his hands, I was like, this is getting intercepted, and he was gone. Especially against the Sharks. Sharks hadn't won a game all season. I know we're only 4 or 5 games into the season, but hadn't won a game till that game. So
Stormers, even.
Yeah, Stormers. Sorry, getting confused. Sorry. Yeah. So that's,
I do it all the time, Claire. Don't worry, I do it all the time.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying to keep. I'm trying to keep me dog calm because of the banger. Sorry.
No, you're grand. Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. Richard Holland, that particular. Sorry, Claire, were you finished?
Yeah, I was finished. Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, thank you, Richard Holland. You being one of 3 Munster men on the panel here tonight, what did you think of that particular game?
Yeah, look, disappointed. Obviously, the only thing I will the line out was absolutely shocking. But the only thing I will say is that that's coachable. It's not an endemic problem. It can be worked on. And it can be got out. The scrum is the same, albeit we're probably a little bit light at front still. We've been talking about this for the last 4 or 5 years, but yeah, I'm disappointed. The one thing that stands out for me was both out halves not going 10 meters with kicks that's unforgivable. You just don't do it. You know, if you're not sure what you're going to do, you just put the laces through it and put it down to the 22 and chase after. But to me, that's unforgivable.
Right. Okay. Right. Dave Sheedy, we're on 7 minutes. You've got 3 minutes. That's all you're allowed. Go.
It's going to be hard, man. Like, obviously, I'm furious, right? Because it's the same as Leinster last week. But, like, I'll start with the positives. I actually thought the scrum was okay. They tired in the second half, but I thought the Stormers were up to all sorts of nonsense in the first half, and their loose head was boring in all the time on John Ryan. And the ref is not experienced enough to know, so he was kind of hesitating who to give penalties to at scrum time. Both scrums in general were an absolute shambles, and it kind of wrecked the game because it was resetting. The line-out's an absolute disgrace. Traditionally in Munster, we prided ourselves on a maul and a line-out, and both of them have just vanished in the last year. Like, the defence was definitely... The scramble defence is good. The defence was slightly better. The main positive was the support at ruck time was much, much better. And we saw that for Tom Farrell's try. And another positive was the actual play for Gavin Coombs' try is like Munster from the year they won the championship. It was a really good play, and they kept coming around the corner. So, it's there. They have it. But I don't know if it's coaching in the attack and the defense that's the problem, or is it lazy players, or it's just so frustrating because no Munster fan has a problem losing. We just want a performance, and we haven't got a good performance from Munster since the Stormers 2 years ago when we won the league. I haven't been proud of one Munster performance since, honestly. And hopefully maybe like against South Africa, Munster were crap up into that South Africa game, and then they beat the Saffas, and then it kicked on. So hopefully maybe the All Blacks in 2 weeks' time will kick us on, because I don't see much happening against the Sharks based on last week. So
do you see? You've about 45 seconds left, Dave. Do you see more of the same this weekend now against the Sharks?
There'll be slight improvements like there was after the Leinster game, but if it's coaching, there's not enough repetition there. Everyone's saying about Jack Crowley, he definitely played himself out of the Ireland 10 jersey with those stupid passes. But stupid passes like that are just, it seems like it's a coaching thing, you know? It's just you're trying to fling it like first receiver, second receiver, rush defense, the space on the wide, just get it wide, and we had another forward pass. It seems all very rushed and frantic. There's no calmness as with the likes of Leinster, we'll say.
Right.
So
okay.
I'm not expecting much next week. I hope we
Okay.
do get one.
Okay, for all our sakes, I hope we do. Okay, thanks, Dave. Thanks, folks. Delighted seeing Jacob playing well. Joe Lyons, delighted seeing Jacob playing well, loving and enjoying his game. Dare I say, Mr. Murphy's having a Midas touch up north. He seems to be, Joe. He seems to have had an effect. Mike Reedy, the last game, Connacht were entertaining Leinster. Connacht losing that 12 points to 33. Mike Reedy, what did you think of that?
I thought Leinster were efficient. Connacht played okay at times without converting anything. Leinster played well without going too wild. They started very well, and they built up a score, but at least they went down and scored in the second half this time, which, from a perspective of Irish rugby, it's important, that you do score in both halves if possible, because you don't want to be fizzling over a game. And they went to the end this time, and Leinster done what they needed to do and got, being honest, it was more or less the result I would have expected. Even in Galway.
Okay. Sorry about that, excuse me. Richard Holland, if you saw that game, what did you think of it?
I only seen the highlights of this, but yeah, it looked like Leinster had it over and done at half time. I'm glad to see they did score a try in the second half. I think they were heading for 3 or 4 in a row without scoring in the second half.
Yep.
It goes back to the old adage. I used to have a coach who said, if they're going to drown, you put a hose in their mouth. If you have them down, you finish them, and you don't let them back into the game. That's exactly what they've done.
That's very it's very Guantanamo Bay-esque of you, Richard.
Well, it was a coach of mine who said it to me, and he was a bastard as well. So,
and he was in Guantanamo.
He was in Guantanamo Bay. Yeah.
It's Connacht done with it. Connacht played in spits and spurts as they always do, but Leinster were never going to lose it.
Yeah. All right, Dave Sheedy.
Yeah, I saw the highlights, and I've been trying all day to watch the whole game so I could get a good perspective of it. But I want to bring up a point that Donald O'Leary said during the week, that his mother said how fit the Leinster team was when he saw him line out against Munster. And I
saw that,
yeah. I had a good look at it myself. Jesus, man, Leinster looks super fit. They really do. They were they're chiseled, man, and they're running. They've got plenty pace and plenty fitness. But for some reason, the defense that everyone's talking about, it does seem a bit leaky, because that was it, the number 22 for Connacht I saw in the highlights, just ran through Snyman and Osborne like they were nothing, and I kind of feel maybe the Leinster attack just needs a bit more. Maybe it needs another couple of games, but they're Leinster playing good, you can't say it, but people expect more, and I think it might be a little harsh on Leinster. Because they're playing well, they're unbeaten. What more do you want?
Okay, no, fair enough. Yeah, okay. Claire Devaney, Connacht v Leinster.
I thought it was going to be a lot closer than what it was. I did genuinely think Connacht would play a slight bit better.
Did you really? Did you really though? Did you?
Well, I was kind of hoping that they would play a little bit better, maybe for a good game. Just reiterate what everyone says there. Good to see them score in the second half. Was kind of holding my breath when Froggy kind of went limping off and Rossborough come on. Yeah, just kind of. Although it turns out Kieran's all good, so that's okay. But yeah, they need to score more in the second half. That's 3 games with no score in the second half and 1 with 1 try in the second half. Not good enough. It's not good enough when you.
Sorry, Claire, I was going to say, is it not a case of in the first 40, job done, lads? No, in the first 40, job done, lads. That's just, that's just.
Yeah. But then
batten down the hatches.
Yeah, you play teams that you batten down the hatches, and the hatches won't stay down. You'll get flooded.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. Oh no, that's right. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, folks. Dara Weston.
Yeah, as everyone said, there was a bit of squeaky bum. We went 2 tries up, then Connacht came back, then got the 3rd try just before half time, and then scored in the second half. So, look, it's an improvement on the previous games where we've had fairly quiet second halves. The other thing is, I don't know what all the Munster fans were complaining about. Snyman's brilliant.
Check.
Oh.
Hang on a
I
minute.
don't
Hang on
know,
a
like,
minute.
I mean,
Let's hang on. Let me reply to that. Let's go back a couple of weeks when before a game was played, and every Leinster supporter, fuck Snyman, and now he's the best thing since sliced bread.
No.
Away
We weren't.
with
It was all the Munster boo boys and Croker who were giving out to him.
I booed him. Oh, definitely, I booed him. Judas, man, I booed him. Definitely.
But how could he be Judas when he wasn't offered a contract from Munster? He was let
that's
go.
the thing.
How could
He
he,
was
how could he be
released.
Judas?
It's
Look, as
insanity
Michael
that you
say,
keep flying
mercenary's
over
gonna
that.
mercenary, you know.
Yeah.
He'll sell
Don't
himself to
set
whoever
Mike
will
Greedy
take
off.
him.
Don't set Mike Greedy off. We'd be here all fucking nice if you do that.
Speaking of setting
Here,
off,
be
can we
careful.
remove Christopher Goff's comment about season's greetings and Santa being
Bit
next
early
to
for
him?
that, yeah.
Jason,
There's
you
no
haven't
need for
gone
that
on a
talk
holiday
now.
yet.
Gregor, go away. I fancy a Sharks win this Saturday versus a team versus Khaleesi versus Etzebeth. Yes. Okay.
Although
Thank you.
Khaleesi Ted mightn't be in the game this weekend.
Yeah. Thanks, Gregor. Megan Augusta, Claire, get the Calmex from your vest for your dogs.
Well,
Okay.
thank you, Megan. I'll write that down now. Thank you.
Will that work for me as well?
Our vet prescribed our dog Valium.
Valium?
Valium.
Yeah, and he gets 5 milligram Valium tablets around Halloween. They
I
work.
tell you.
What? Valium to a dog? Are you serious?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm saying
Valium.
he said to us, he said it's the exact same one, except it's about 3 times the price because it's for dogs.
Yeah, well, my father's on cyclamine tablets for that.
Anyway, listen, this isn't
Thank you.
fucking
The dog
Crufts.
takes the same
It's not
one.
fucking Crufts, okay? Grant, fine. Fair enough.
Thank
Grant.
you,
I know there's a few of us are dog
Jesus
lovers,
fucking
okay?
Bill Beaumont.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Here.
He
For
beats
fuck's sake,
better.
we're here to talk about fucking rugby, not fucking dogs. We can have that
He
in the
might
private
not know.
conversation.
He might make more sense at Crufts.
Grabbing him by the bollocks and away you go.
Can someone knock over to him and give him a neck rub?
Now, come here. The news today was Mike Reedy. I'm coming to you first. The news today was obviously the Irish squad was named,
Mm-hmm.
and I think an awful lot of the squad you could have named. The usual names are in there. Caelan Doris is the captain, but I think what caught most people was some of the omissions, Mike. The likes of Max Deegan, Ben Murphy, Tom Ahern. What was your initial reading of the squad, Mike, when you saw it there named earlier?
I'll be honest with you, it was more or less what I expected. Now, all those players, aforementioned players, all have merit and could, and if any one of them had been picked or all of them had been picked, I don't think many people would be complaining. However, there's only a certain amount of players you can pick, and I know, like everybody's been talking about Ben Murphy, and justifiably so, over the start of the season. I think he had a bit of a wake up call against Leinster, to be fair, but he wasn't dreadfully bad, but it was a bit of an eye opener for him, and you're playing against a good team. So, but Tom Ahern has only this one game in the season. I wasn't expecting Tom Ahern to be picked. I think he will work his way into the Irish setup eventually, like over time. And who was the other one you mentioned? Max
Deegan. It was just three off the top of my own head, just my own personal. You can have your own. It's just three that I thought.
It's a very well allocated position. Like anywhere across the back row for Ireland right now, it's going to be very, very difficult. Now there are a couple of guys like you might question whether is he better like than Timoney. I think Timoney is outstanding, has been outstanding for Ulster for the last couple of years, in fact. Prendergast, the Connacht boy. But Max Deegan is gone. I mean, Coombs isn't getting no look in it either, never has done. So, there's quite a few players that you could say.
I think Mike Coombs did something in a training session or something to piss off Andy Farrell, because he was in the training squad. And we've spoken about Coombs before, and I was surprised he wasn't included. But since then, I've been informed that something happened. Yeah, I don't know what it was, but something went on or whatever it was. I don't know.
Paul O'Connell and is one of the head coaches. And he'd have obviously the Munster influence. You'd have thought if he was going to get a shout, he'd be on board. But you know what? They all have to wait their chance, and I'm not terribly disappointed or surprised. I mean, I've seen some comments regarding like Keane Healy and Conor Murray and somebody else that like because they're old.
Tom.
But we genuinely don't have an option out for but loose heads, as simple as that. And to set and done by the way that Keane Healy still has to pull on a shirt and he will do a job, lads, and make no mistake about it. He's never let us down. But
all right,
going forward, something that probably should be addressed urgently.
Okay. Richard Holland, the squad that was named, any surprise? Oh, I'm not going to say inclusions because the usual names are there. With two, I think, non-caps. You've got Sam Prendergast, Leinster, and Cormac Izuchukwu from Ulster. But other than that,
he deserves it now. He's having a barnstorming start.
Yeah.
Go back to Ahern. Ahern is working back from a long injury, so I wasn't expecting him to make this one anyway. He definitely will in the future. He's definitely one for the future, but it's probably 2 months too soon for him, if you know what I'm saying. As for, I would love to have seen Murphy come in. I'll be honest with you. I think even at the expense of Conor Murray. Conor Murray's been a great servant. He's 35, whatever he is. But this boy, he plays like the ground is on fire, as Peter Martin would say. He's brilliant, and again he will get his chance. But even included in the training squad or whatever, when they bring in 5 or 6 young lads just to give him a taste of it, even into that it would have been welcome. But it is what it is. I'm reasonably happy with it. We know the problems at tight head, and that's why Healy is still there, or at loose head, and that's why Keane Healy is still there, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Hopefully something will come through.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, gentlemen, look, it's a strong squad. It's just just a lot of chatter. Yeah, but it's just a lot of chatter about the omissions and 1 or 2 inclusions. Dave Sheedy, what are your thoughts on the squad?
Jack Conan
go on.
Is that correct?
Jack Conan did his hamstring in. Yeah, he's injured. Yeah. Dave Sheedy, go ahead. Your thoughts on the squad?
My issue every time an Ireland squad is selected is provincial bias from fans and provincial bias from you could even say coaches back in the day, not these days, but like, I mean, you know, there was good poise back years ago to give out about Declan Kidney, Joe Schmidt, and who was the other lad from Galway? I forget his name.
Who cares?
Eddie O'Sullivan. Eddie,
yeah.
Like, I mean, that Ulster and Leinster players were getting selected for Ireland ahead of Connacht and Munster players because they're the traditional rugby, blah, blah, blah. Like, look, Andy Farrell has his team number 1 in the world. He's back-to-back Grand Slam champions. If Andy Farrell knocks on my door in the morning and says, Dave, I need you to run through that brick wall, I will do it. That man, like, look, we can sit here and give out about players that are not selected. Like, I mean, I'm sorry Tom Ahern's not in there. Gavin Coombs, I think maybe the laziness about him. Like, I'm surprised by Henderson. I'm surprised by Stockdale. And it's like, I trust Andy Farrell, man. He knows what he's doing. So I'm not going to go on like giving out about who's not there. And the World Cup brigade that are on the comments, oh, you're not feeding new players ready for 4 years' time. That's all they care about. What's going on in 4 years' time? We have 6 nations to win. I want to beat the All Blacks. I want to beat every single team. You know, that's all I care about is the next game. I don't care what's happening in 4 years. That'll sort itself out. But
Dave, why does Stockdale's inclusion surprise you when he's been on a good vein of form recently?
Yeah, but he's been included in squads for the last 4 years and he didn't deserve it because he wasn't playing good. So there is a conservativeness to Andy Farrell. So like I wouldn't pick Stockdale. It's not an end against Ulster or any of that. If
I know.
Whatever going on. But I wouldn't pick Ian Henderson either. But like they're there because he knows them and trusts them, and that's fine because they're always in the squad and rotating around. But one thing I will say about your pal Sam Prendergast, he's picked now. He has to start a game to see what he's made of. And he has to, because there's no point picking him if you're just going to bring him in. You should have put him with the training lads at the bottom.
He'll start, Dave. He'll start against Fiji or come off the bench against Argentina.
You can't pick him unless you're going to start him against Fiji, definitely.
Okay, all right. Claire Devney, your thoughts on the squad?
I'm actually going to. I'm going to agree with Dave. We're not here to pick the squad. That's what Andy Farrell was paid a hell of a lot of money by the IRFU to do. So
Okay.
yeah,
The
yeah.
tagline, Claire, for the show is "It's for the fans by the fans." We are just armchair pundits, so we're just our opinion at the end of the day doesn't fucking matter. So we're discussing it.
Okay,
So
I know
what are
we're
you paying
talking
us
about.
to come on here and give our
Okay, I
opinions
know
for
we're
then?
talking about emissions, but why the fuck is Peter O'Mahony in it when he's not going to play a game? He's injured.
There you go.
Yeah,
Like
that's true as well. O'Mahony, I can't see him
okay,
playing.
probably not, but you're picking a player who is injured and who is not going to play in the next 4 weeks, next 5 weeks. So why are you putting him in there? Leave him out. Okay.
Rob
Leave him
Herring
out. Take him out.
There's got to be information that we haven't got for him to do that. Like,
All right. Okay, Claire, are you? Is your
wrong? I would like to be proven wrong about that one. Just if he picked someone in the squad that he knows is not going to play, it's a bit of a straight fucking pick. Sorry, that's my rant. Thanks very much.
right? Great job. Thanks, Claire. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Richard. Dara Weston, your thoughts on the squad as picked by Andy Farrell?
Well, they picked O'Mahony because they have to pick a couple of Munster lads like Jesus, Conor Murray, 35, 36.
Here we go again. Yeah.
No, I mean the one thing I disagree with, Dave, is look, if we're not going to use a series of friendlies to blood young players for the World Cup, when the fuck are we? We're not going to do it in the Six Nations of a Lions year, so they're not going to be played next year. So, like, when are we gonna? I'm more concerned with getting past the quarter final than beating the All Blacks. We've beaten the All Blacks a couple of times now. So I'd rather see Ben Murphy put out there, with Gibson Park instead of Conor Murray, because we know Conor Murray's not going to be at the next World Cup. So I mean, at this stage, is it just naming him to increase his caps? There are other options there. But I think, it's, if we keep saying, we'll blood players for the World Cup tomorrow, next season, eventually
I am loving your dog, Dara,
Cup.
by the way. I'm loving your dog.
Yeah.
Sorry, because the wife's away at the moment. He's
I see, right. Okay.
He heard the word Xanax, so
he's a bit worried, so he's cuddling up to the spare human.
What's his name?
Basil.
Oh my god!
Basil Fawlty.
That's
Sorry, Dara. Go on.
So, I think. Look, I think as I said, if we don't take a chance to use the autumn internationals, which are friendlies, as an excuse to blood young players, especially when we've young players in fantastic form who need to be played. So the only thing is now the squad that's been announced, does that include the 150th anniversary test game against Australia? Or is there going to be a separate announcement for that one? I assume it's for all the autumn.
I don't know.
I'd imagine it's for all of them.
Yeah.
Maybe in John Hayes, I heard retirement and all that. If they want to go that way about it.
There you go. Right. Anyway, next point, folks.
Give me 10 seconds to respond to Dara, will you? Just quickly. And I just want to say, I agree with what you're saying about blood known players, and I'm not against that. Dave Kilcoyne was picked in that Ireland squad for a long time, and he was never going to play because he was crack coach. Like that, it seems Andy Farrell's picking certain players for certain things. Maybe they won't play, but within the squad to bring the squad closer together, from what I see. But I do agree with Darren. Maybe other players should be picked. There's many points of view on this,
Okay, thanks, Dave. Now, I want to. Jared Brennan. Sorry, just a couple of comments here. I don't know why they just fly in on my screen here. Jared Brennan, two poor restarts complete. Hi, Jared, by the way. 2 poor restarts completely deflated Munster and gave the opposition the chance to close it out. Gregor, go away. Megan Augusta, I hope to go to the All Blacks experience. I will send to you. Gregor, do you want to just have that private chat?
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Just message each other. It's all right. Mike Sheedy. Hi, Mike. Munster have bad luck again. Missed few players. Only round 5 URC. Now, Mike, you see, you could be saying this. It's only round 12 of the URC in the future. Remember, a few years, same things happened. Excuse me, but Munster did well end of season. Yes. Joe Lyons, I see. Yay or nay?
The 1 year they won the fucking thing.
Yeah, all right, hold on.
Yeah, we lost our first 5 games.
All right, we just fucking hold on. Joe Lyons, yay or nay on the Aki tackle? Legal, yes, but test level, that could have been millimeters away. Joe, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I
No,
don't want to go down the rabbit hole, but I did say it was a whisker away from being dangerous. Okay,
yes, but
uh,
a whisker is still a whisker.
Absolutely.
whisker. It was still legal. It was still legal.
Yeah,
That's,
the point of contact was legal when he done it, and there was a
Yeah.
wrap.
Yeah.
So
Not
yeah. Okay. Alan Dorman, the Munster players are on them at the moment.
I know.
And Danny Brosnan, I see your comment there. Finn Russell, I'm not.
Prozac.
So go away. Ger Brennan, if there's a chance that Leinster have decided that with a bonus point at half time in those 3 games, that they work on their defence in the second half and achieve a shutout. That's kind of what I was getting at, yes. Danny
I just wasn't
Brosnan,
listening to
yes, hold on, Claire. Danny Brosnan, yes, shoulder to shoulder. Yeah, it was, but, you know, a bit higher, it would have taken your man's head off. Megan Augusta, 100% agree. Hold on, Mike. 100% agree, Mike, regarding Timothy. But of course, Megan,
That's surprising.
you're Timothy's stalker, Megan. Come on. I'm joking, by the way. Joe Lyons, loose head and scrummaging are both issues positions, but that said, no problem seeing Murray rock up with 20 minutes left, and Healy's still good for 20 minutes. But damn, we need them slots sorted. Very true, Joe.
I love Joe
very true.
Lyons using the official title Scrum Midget instead of Scrum Half.
Kieran Ryan, Shane Daly has been great for Munster this season before his injury and did very well last season. Thought he'd be involved in the training squad. Yeah, good point, Kieran. Yeah,
I think he's carried another knock though again.
He's brought back in Scott. He's brought back in, so that wasn't.
yeah. Joe Lyons, personally, I think Stockdale is there on merit, but there is also an element of players unavailable that have got him to the squad. Possibly, Joe. Yeah, possibly. Okay, folks, I'm going to start with the 3 Munster people representatives here on the panel, right, with this particular question, and then I'll come to the 2 Leinster players.
Gayers.
Guess. No, guess. Sorry. I'm doing fucking 3 or 4 things at once here. I'm reading them.
Showbiz hands.
Breathe.
It's showbiz, baby.
glasses
Showbiz, baby. Yeah. No, I can read all right. I have a different thing going on here. Now,
We
Mike
never
Reedy.
said it was going to be pretty.
No. Mike Reedy, let me ask you, and then Richard, I'll come to you, and then Dave Sheedy, I'll come to you. Your thoughts on this, right? Now, hold on, my phone's after locking again. Now I have it. It was announced that Leo Cullen signed a new 2-year contract to remain as Leinster head coach until the 26-27 season. I would have thought, in my, I suppose, maybe my naivety, that this would have been welcomed, but it's not by all and asunder, right? And I'll give you one comment on this, ladies and gentlemen. Donald Keeney wrote in the group underneath the post about Leo getting his thing. He says, I really don't understand this decision. Leo has failed to deliver silverware for the past 3 years, despite the fact that he has the best squad in Europe and the best in the league by a considerable distance. His overly cautious selection policy was the team's downfall in 2022-2023, but he carried on with the same show again in the following year. He should have been shown the door in June, in my opinion. Leinster has stagnated at best over the last 5 years and needs a change. He may deliver that change this year, but to offer him a new contract now is utter madness. Mike Reedy and all. Same question to you all.
I wouldn't say it's madness, but I do take some of the points he's made there are probably legitimate. You know that like there is a lack of success over the last 3 years, and you know he has to carry some of the responsibility for that, and he has made decisions which have not been supported by the Irish squad, i.e., picking fly halves that aren't good enough when you have better options at your disposal. He's made some, but lads, how do you can't just bin somebody based. It's not a done thing in rugby, you know. You don't. He's not been drastically bad, and Leinster are playing decent rugby. They're just not closing out. They're not closing out tournaments, which is probably not good enough if we're honest. They should be. Like Leinster shouldn't be going any season without winning some trophy. They have They have at their
I
disposal.
don't know about that, Mike. You know.
Well, in fairness, they do have at their disposal the best squad of players, clubs side, probably even in the world, for that matter. And for them to not win even the URC, they should be winning the URC, so they should, no question about it. They should be miles ahead of everybody else, and they probably are. They're not even playing very well at the moment, lads. Let's be honest. They're getting through games, and that must be a concern for other teams, because if they do start playing well, God help anybody they're playing against. But they're not fucking playing out with their skin, you know, and blowing teams away, which is what they should be doing. But he does have to, his coach should be on a shaky peg. I am surprised at him giving him a new contract at this stage of the season, because any lack of success again this season, the writing should be on the wall, I would say, yeah.
All right, okay. Richard Holland, same question to you.
Yeah, going back to what Mike was saying, I think the 2 Heineken Cup finals were lost. We call it the Champions Cup, whatever you want to call it. Were lost because there was points unoffered and they kicked to the corner. I think genuinely 2 years in a row, that's what cost them the extra star. On the 2 years, I think if they don't win something this year, I can't see them lasting. I think it will be unacceptable to the Leinster higher ups, and I also think, looking from the outside in, that's going to be unacceptable to the Leinster fans. You're used to success. You've earned it. I will admit that you have earned it. You have a great setup, but that kind of success is expected to be followed by more success. So I think if they don't win something this year, he'll be gone. He won't be here this time next year if you don't win something.
New contract.
Well, a contract is only a contract. You can walk away from it, you know.
Get away. Yeah, all right.
Thanks,
Mike. Thanks.
In that contract.
Well, that's true, actually. Yeah, that's true.
You see what happens with contracts? They don't have to be honoured.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Richard. Dave Sheedy, your thoughts on this?
I've seen a couple of Donald, is it? I've seen a couple of his other comments on other topics, and I just find it very soccer-esque. that kind of no, I do. I find it very soccer-esque, that kind of comment. I think this everyone's talking about this being the greatest group of players that Leinster have ever had. Leo Cullen and Lancaster built that group of players, and they wouldn't be there without them. You need a lot of luck to win a final and cup matches, and that's in all sport. It's not just in rugby. You need luck to get you over as well. And I think something Leinster and a few and other Irish teams are lacking on is real leadership. Like Leinster have Doris now, but before that they weren't really sure who their captain was. And then with Sexton, you know, I think it was just hard luck that Johnny's last year he didn't get it. I think it's a major lack of leadership. When you look at older provincial teams, they'd leaders across the park, whereas Leinster, Munster, to an extent Connacht and Ulster don't really have that anymore. So I think it's more down to the players. It's so easy to turn around and give out about Cullen, but I honestly think the players have to own up to those 3 finals not being won, because like Andy Farrell and Paul O'Connell, they all say we just give the players everything they can. They have to do it on the pitch, and I'm sure that's the same with most coaches. So I see nothing wrong with him getting his two. Like, I mean, people are flopping back and forth. Should we give out about Leo or should we give out about Niambar? Give out about the players, man. They're the ones that have to do it. Like,
yeah, fair enough. An honest answer, Dave. Thank you very much for that. Claire Devaney, your thoughts on Leo's 2-year contract?
I was quite surprised that he signed a 2-year contract, and that was more so from listening.
So was I.
Yeah, quite surprised, because I know there was talk of him selling his house and etc. etc. I agree with Dave. It's the coaches and the managers, they can give them everything, but at the end of the day, it's the 15 players on the pitch that have to make it count. So yeah. That's just quite surprised. I'm glad to see him. I do like Leo. So sure, we'll see what happens. This season. I wouldn't be calling for his head now if we don't win out in this season. I wouldn't be calling for his head, cause yes, he's the manager, he's the coach, he's whatever. But It's the 20 or the squad of however many players they have, and the 15 that are on the team and the 8 that are on the bench. It's them that have to make it count.
Yeah.
Like he can
Richard,
he can do an Alex Ferguson on that and throw a boot at someone's head. Still not going to make a blind bit of difference.
can you see Leo Cullen throwing anything at anyone?
Maybe a rugby ball from the catch, but I'm just saying no. I couldn't even see him raising his voice in the room. To be honest, I could see him.
Gosh, as I said before, he looks like he's like a fucking rug on Valium. He's so fucking calm. Richard Holland, were you going to say something there?
Yeah, no, just going back to what Dave said, it's the old trope of the buck stops here. He's the head coach.
Yeah.
He's going to be the first person that to go to if things go tits up.
Of course. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, Dara Weston, your thoughts on...
What's your thoughts of it, Peter?
I'll give my thoughts after I ask Dara Weston.
Saving the best for last.
Sorry, Darren.
No. It's Burke has final say in all these matters.
I
would say...
It's our show. It's our show. I just happen to host it because I'm a shit fucking contributor.
You're like, boy, come on.
Yeah.
Go on.
No,
you were getting all the sponsorship money and our checks are in the post for the last 2 years.
I wish.
Danny's still waiting to pay his broadband bill from the royalties from the podcast. You're saying, oh, they haven't paid me yet.
I wish that was the case.
Meanwhile, your dog has a new harness every week. So
he bought me a vodka once or twice. Does that count?
Jesus.
Expenses. He put that down.
I would.
Oh my God, Dara, go on.
I'm trying to. I was letting everybody else finish there. I would say a 2-year contract is hardly a ringing endorsement. I mean, a minimum renewal would be a year to year, and that's like basically you're too old to do the job we're giving you. So it's not like they're giving them a 5-year contract or anything like that. They're giving them a 2-year contract. So there's obviously no backup plan in place, and they've nobody identified to take over. And it's kind of like, okay, we'll try this season, and if we did win this season and we hadn't his contract renewed, it'd cost us a fortune. So it seems more tactical. I would agree with everybody else that ultimately it's the players who perform. I would slightly disagree with Dave in that I don't think it's the best Leinster squad ever. I still think the days of Hickey, O'Gara, Darcy, that was probably the best squad we've ever had so far. But we have a very, very good squad. Now, certainly the South Africans coming into the Heineken and the URC have made things a bit more interesting. But yeah, I mean, it is up to the players to perform. Yes, the book stops with Leo. So look, I mean, I think it's a 2-year contract. I think if he doesn't manage it this year, maybe he might decide to go himself. The same people, as Dave said, there's a bit of kind of footballishness about calling for heads. It's like, the people who are saying, oh, Ross Byrne, yeah, Jesus, oh God, he's on the bench. Ross Byrne has scored over 1,000 points for Leinster.
Yeah, he's a good player, man.
Played, I think, 200, 300 matches, something like that. So, he's been a fantastic servant to Leinster. And personally, I think he'd be great to have there as backup. But anyway, so yeah, I think there's a lot of kind of like, just get rid of that person, get rid of this person. But yeah, I wouldn't. It's good to have Leo signed on, but I wouldn't say it's a 2-year contract. It's not a ringing endorsement from the higher ups.
Okay. Thank you, Claire. Thank you, gentlemen. Alan Dorman, Peter O'Mahony should not be there, and I disagree with Dave. We have to look to the future. All right. Okay.
Did I say we didn't have to look to the future?
No, I look anyway. Now, folks, Dara Weston, I'll come back to you. We go around the other way. I was reading this fucking Nations Cup thing. We spoke about this before, but it's now come back around because I think what World Rugby and those involved are what they are trying to do is get this fucking dust bowl. As John Peters said when he was on, we were talking about this initially ages ago.
Let's get the money.
This is how long this fucking thing is going on. Qatar are in line to host the final of the 2028 Nations Cup. And let me just read you all. Hold on, Claire. Hold on. Let me just read you all an extract. This was in today's, I think it was a Telegraph. I know, but anyway, the rugby guy who writes this he's actually quite good, but I know it's a Telegraph. He says the new blueprint disclosed is seen as the new blueprint for the Nations Cup plans disclosed is seen as a compromise, with staging the first final at Twickenham regarded as a crucial concession to those worried the sport is being sold to the highest bidder. No shit. The Six Nations and Southern Hemisphere unions are understood to be close to signing a heads of terms agreement. I don't really know what that means. On an initial 4-year contract that will confirm the 2026 and 2028 hosts for the Nations Cup as London and Qatar, respectively. Dara, why the fuck Qatar? For Jesus' sake, I'm so against this. Dara, sorry, go on.
So, yeah, head of terms is basically, because the wife's a lawyer, it's basically just an agreement that sets out the rough commercial aspects of an agreement, but it's not a definitive agreement. So it's kind of like, here's what we would do it for.
Okay.
Why Qatar? Because the money. I've been saying this for years. Qatar have they have a sovereign investment fund that has nearly $1 trillion under investment. They have all these stadiums. They didn't sponsor the URC for nothing. Like, I mean, some of the teams don't even fly Qatar. They're flying. The South African teams are flying up on Emirates and the like. I think it's long been an intention that they want to get sports out there. If Danny Brosnan was here, I think he'd point out that in Doha there's not a decent fucking chipper, kebab shop, or pub, yet they expect to bring rugby out there. It's an absolute scandal and a disgrace. But Bill Beaumont's feather in his nest before he leaves, so any cash he can get in from the sheikhs, he'll take.
Right. Okay. Claire Devney, your thoughts on Qatar hosting a country that has an alcohol ban, dodgy experience on women's rights, human rights.
Money talks. That's it. I was going to make a joke point of well, it's halfway between New Zealand and here, so we can meet in the middle. Money talks, and it should not be there, and that's for women's rights, human rights, people's rights, and whatsoever. But they'll throw money after money after money, and Bill Beaumont has accepted it. Can it be reneged on when the next president comes, or when the next head of World Rugby comes in? Can they go throw it out the window?
Not if all the unions sign off on it.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Dave Sheedy, your thoughts on this? In my view, it's just a ridiculous fucking notion.
Is the problem because it's Qatar, or is the problem the tournament itself?
It's where it is. Qatar, their government, their belief system.
Yeah, look, it's like
their failings, their no alcohol, their religious beliefs, their fucking lack of human rights, their lack of fucking women's rights, their lack of fucking.
Let's get political, so.
No, but that's basically why I object. Like, what fucking rugby fan is going to go to fucking Qatar? For fuck's sake, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, look, it's like live golf. You know, these lads in the Middle East have so much money, it's pissing out their arse, like, so they can just throw money at everybody, and people, okay, like the RFU are in financial difficulty because of the Premiership. Welsh Rugby Union are in financial difficulty. Australia's in financial difficulty. South Africa, New Zealand are up and down, up and down. The only ones really are flush are probably ourselves and France when you think about it. So, like we're in a little bubble here in Ireland because we're sport mad and everything. So, you know, everyone's mad for rugby at the minute, but like we don't know really the situation of viewership and people in Britain and in South Africa, New Zealand. Like, people might be falling out in love with the All Blacks because they haven't been playing well. So, you know, just to make the point, I don't want anything going to the Middle East. Full stop. You know, anything. But you know, if I had my way, I'd go back to the amateur days. I think this tournament is too much for the players.
Yeah.
In general, I think it's too much. You've high octane Six Nations, Heineken Cup, and now the URC is a hell of a lot higher level than the Celtic Cup. And it's just it's too much. I like the summer internationals and autumn internationals. You know, you throw another tournament in, people would be giving out even more that we're not blooding new players, and I'd agree with them.
All right. Okay. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Claire. Thanks, Dara. Richard Holland, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I'll make this brief now. Why would you bring a game to a country where there's no history of the game being played? They say nothing of their very questionable human rights, LGBTQ, women's rights, all that. I mean,
and it's not even like the States where they're trying to get the game going. The game will never take off in Qatar.
It will never start. It hasn't even started in Qatar. It's just down to money, and I don't agree with it. I wouldn't want to go to Qatar on holidays, let alone go to see a rugby game.
I passed on the way to New Zealand. That was about it.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Mike Grady, your thoughts on this?
Lads, whether we like it or not, this is going to happen. It's as simple as that. Because the money, World Rugby needs the finance to come from somewhere, and there's not many people putting their hands up and like offering to finance it. All the aforementioned unions that are struggling, but I mean, it's inconceivable for rugby to be even thought about being played at fucking in a place like Qatar. I would be categorically against. I'll never go to any of those countries ever, including Dubai. No desire whatsoever. Fucking concrete jungles in the desert there, and they hold out absolutely no appeal whatsoever. And
Mikey, let them have it. Go on. I'm loving this.
Said like about the human rights, what's that abomination? And Bill Bowman should be fucking sacked right now. In fact, if he signs off on this, he should actually be sacked.
Is he a mercenary if he signs off on it?
He's leaving. He's leaving, Mike. He's leaving on the 19th, I think, or
he's leaving on the jet. He's leaving on the jet plane supplied by Qatar.
Yeah, in November. So
it's a golden handcuffs.
And then
there you go.
It's like the government here trying to get the hate speech bill through. It's just get
all right, okay, all right, fine. We're not going. I'm not doing. Stop. Jesus,
you started the politics.
I explained the fact. I wasn't bringing up anything political. I was explaining my reasons why I don't think Qatar is a suitable venue for.
We all agree.
What time of the year is the tournament going to be on? The Nations Championship, is it going to be on around World Cup time?
Summertime, I think.
I mean, it can't be summer because they had to move the Football World Cup because it'd be too hot in the desert during the summer.
Yeah, they moved it to December.
Stadiums.
But why not?
But not the pitch.
Take their money, let them invest, and give them a bit of fucking advertising or whatever. But there's no way any rugby match should be ever fucking even considered. It's not a rugby playing. There's not one rugby player in any of those countries, and they have no.
Okay. Okay, I just want to get through. Sorry, Mike. I'm conscious of time. Viewers' questions, Mike. We'll one each if I have enough for you all. Mike Grady, Neil McKeown asks, things are going south for Ben Healy in Scotland. Discuss. You're closest over there.
Do you know something? I am, and he comes from the same place as me originally, and I knew he was going to come here long before it happened, or I knew that it was likely to happen because he actually fancied the idea. It's not working out for him by the looks of it. He's not getting a game for Edinburgh right now. He can't even get he's in the Edinburgh B team, so that doesn't bode well for him. He was never going to get picked for Scotland when he can't even get a game for Edinburgh. Like Edinburgh are fucking dire this season. And he can't get in the team. Can't even get in the squad.
All right. Okay.
So, not working for him, lads. But he's made his bed now, so.
All right. Okay. Richard Holland. Gregor Galway asked, why have Munster started so bad? Is it the coach's fault or the players?
Oh, God, you didn't ask me that one.
That's a good one. I think it's 50-50, I'll be honest with you. There's some of the players look very disinterested. Some of the players shouldn't be there. But also, now I know there's a couple of changes in the back room and maybe they're taking time to settle in and whatnot, but There could be a problem, and I've heard it in the past that there's a bit of a culture, and it's an issue down in Munster now. They said that it would probably disappear when a lot of the older players moved out, but obviously it hasn't. So maybe that's something that Roundtree has encouraged, and maybe it's back, but it's also something that shouldn't be in the modern game.
Right. Okay. Dave Sheedy, also from a second one from Neil McKeown. Dave, will we see Simon Easterby be conservative with the Six Nations in 2025? And will it be the European tour to Portugal, etc., where we see some squad tweaks Rugby World Cup 2027?
Jesus, I don't know how to answer that.
Give it a shot.
I'm really looking forward to Easterby taking over because, we can't rely on Andy Farrell forever, and it's like Easterby's given the reins now. It'd be interesting to see, will he pick a completely different squad, or not completely different, but blood and new players, because this tournament now this series is Andy Farrell's last hurrah before the Lions. So I'm really, really interested now to see what Easterby is gonna do. I haven't even thought about that, and I won't think about it personally till the autumn series is over. Yeah, I'm really excited about Easterby taking the reins and see what he's doing, see how he coaches and see how he manages his coaches and stuff like that. I'm really looking forward to it, definitely.
All right, okay. Claire, our colleague James Grennan, he said
he's off the fence.
He's off the fence. Yeah, there you go. He said notable omissions from the Ireland squad. Now we touched on this earlier, so probably a short enough answer, I suppose. Notable omissions from the Ireland squad: Ben Murphy, the Byrne brothers, the Murray brothers, and he said the Prendergast brothers.
Both of them are there.
Yeah, he got that one wrong. We kind of covered this, Claire, didn't we?
We kind of covered it. Revert back a couple of minutes ago, James, to answer your questions.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
I'm not sure what time, but I can remind and find out and send you a message.
Okay, fair enough. All right. And Dara Weston, yours comes in from Owen Carruthers, who is the father of Ruben, who plays for Ulster. Owen asks, who gets the 6th shirt versus the All Blacks with Conan out and Palm won't be ready? Probably a choice between Baird, Prendergast and Izzy, as Byrne adds more playing at second row. What do you think of that?
I'd say, seeing as Izzy hasn't been capped yet, I can't see him being thrown in starting 6 on the All Blacks game. Yeah. Or even what the All Blacks is the second match, isn't it, after Argentina?
Yeah.
So even if he did get capped the week before, I doubt he'd be starting against the All Blacks. So I'd say it'd be Baird or Prendergast.
Right.
Most likely Baird.
Yeah.
I'd say Baird. Richard.
Yeah. I think it's going to be Byrne, lads, and I think he's going to put Ryan and McCarthy in the second row to obliterate them in the scrum, and then we're going to get 80 minutes out of Byrne. Bring on Baird and put Byrne into the second row. Then when you take off a second row,
not a bad show actually.
That was all right. Okay. All right. That's the viewers' questions out of the way. The next point, Mike Reedy, I'll ask you first on this. Johnny Sexton is going in as an advisory training role for the squad.
He's not going anywhere. They're talking about it.
Well, hold on.
Been announced.
Hold on, Dara. Hold on. I was listening to a segment on Off the Ball, and the lads were talking about this. And the question I'm going to ask you all, ladies and gentlemen, is, and I agree with them what they said. They said, I can't remember the guy's name, but he made a very good point. He says, Mike, I'm coming to you first. Is it not too soon for Sexton to be going anywhere near training, involved in the training setup of that particular team, seeing as a lot of them he's played rugby with? And then when Andy Farrell goes on the Lions tour, the fear is that Johnny Sexton will have too much of an influence on that team for people to be comfortable with him there. Mike Reedy.
Well, Johnny Sexton, being Johnny Sexton, is going to have an influence because he's not coming in there to fucking tick boxes or any of that nonsense. He's certainly no chance. So, is he likely to undermine management? Probably not, because they're all fairly strong characters, I think. So, I don't think he's going to undermine them. However, he will have his say. Now, how the players respond to him? They responded pretty well to him while he was captain and while he was player. So I'd imagine I don't see it being a problem, to tell you the truth. But he's a bit. I mean, I'll be honest with you. This book he's written doesn't sit well with me. This fucking nonsense. Things that
why not?
What?
What exactly, Mike? What doesn't sit well with you?
Should never ever fucking be revealed out with the game, and the same with as regards the dressing room. This nonsense going on with Ione and all that bullshit. I'm sorry, lads, but see, the sanctity of a rugby pitch should never be taken outside of that. I'm old school, so that's how I think. I just can't believe you'd fucking turn around and say things that happened during the course of a game. It's not right. It doesn't sit well with me anyway.
But Mike, you do realise that if Johnny Sexton came out with something like, "It was all great. We had oranges and 7-Up at halftime.
No,
it was brilliant, and we all had a great time. It was great crack. I had cornflakes for me fucking breakfast."
Yeah,
that doesn't sell books. That doesn't sell books.
No, but fuck it. Listen, Paul O'Connell has written a book, and there's no you don't bring controversy. You can't court controversy when you're talking about the game, and what happened during the course of a game. It's the same as what's been said to referees, and it's all fucking nonsense to me. I don't agree with it anyway. I don't.
So to go back to the original thing about Sexton, is it a good idea to have Sexton in there in the training?
Well, his knowledge of the game is fucking vital, and it should be kept he should be kept in the game in some aspect. Brian O'Driscoll should never have been allowed to fucking retire away from rugby. And
why are we going to push him in?
That was his choice. He said he had no interest in coaching. That was his choice.
And Vince, you give people enough fucking money to have interest in whatever, in anything. And
he's made enough fucking money for chase.
No, but
anyway,
for the knowledge, and like he had gifts that like most people don't have. They have ever played rugby, so that needs to be passed on to the next generation. And the same applies to Johnny Sexton. Like his desire to win, his desire to play rugby, everything. So I don't see a problem with it at all.
Okay. Sorry, Mike. I'm just.
It are two different things, though.
I was just going to say that, Dara. Yes, very true. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just conscious of time. Hold on, Claire. Richard Holland, Johnny Sexton. Good idea to get into the training or not? Is it too soon?
Just for the knowledge that he brings. But I'm assuming he's going in there and there's going to be ground rules that he can do this, but he can't.
Part-time basis, yes. Apparently.
I don't have an issue with that. He's going to come in. I mean, we have 2-3 very, very young out halves there now. The knowledge that he's going to be able to bring to them alone is absolutely massive.
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem with that.
Okay, Dave Sheedy.
Is this for the Ireland squad? Yeah.
Yes.
Right. No, because it was never mentioned as Leinster or Ireland, and I know.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, yeah, for the Ireland squad.
Like, there's an argument say it's too soon for Sexton to come in because he's coaching with players he played with, but there has been a gap in leadership and driving it into players to get this done since he left. There has been that gap there, even though we're still winning and so on and so forth. But I think, as Richie said, if he's going purely to kind of coach the 3 relatively young out halves, not a problem. Anything else, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, no,
let Paulie and Easter be in the lads take care of it, but for the out halves, definitely, yeah.
Okay, thanks, Dave. Thanks, Richard. Thanks, Mike. Claire Devney, go on. You're itching to get in there.
Yeah. It's a good idea, but just because you're a great player doesn't make you a good coach or a good teacher
or commentator.
Fair enough.
Yeah, or commentator. Yeah. Give him experience, but it's how good is he at teaching other people? Who had he got underneath him when he was playing? did he give them their experience? Did he give them the experience
true
and
as
his
well,
knowledge
yeah.
and his knowledge and all that in both the Leinster setup and the Ireland setup? Is his ego too big to give it all so that someone could potentially become better than him?
Well, now that he's
Very fair
retired,
point.
that could be different, Claire.
It could be different, yeah. No, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Oh no,
but you,
no, it is great. He should give his knowledge and his wisdom away.
but do you understand? Do you get the point that the lads on Off the Ball were making, though, Claire? That
Is it too soon?
well, too soon, but also that Andy. Sorry, I meant to say this is for the Six Nations. Sorry, not for the Autumn Internationals. This is for the Six Nations next year. That his influence on the team with Andy Farrell gone would be too great. It might be he might upset
No,
the balance.
he's not going to have the same power that he did when he was a player or when he was captain. He's not going to have the same power going back in he did as when he was captain. When he was captain of the squad, they're not going to give him that much power.
The likes of Easterby and O'Connell were there when Sexton was playing.
Yeah.
They were coaching as it was.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Dara Weston, go ahead.
This is gonna next year's Six Nations is gonna be like when your man and dad went away for the weekend and they left you a list of what to do, what not to do, and where the money was hidden. Andy is leaving for the Lions. He needs whoever's interim coach, caretaker coach, to put out the best strength Irish team so that he can pick as many Irish players as he wants to pick. He needs us to win the Six Nations next year. Johnny, what he's going to come back as, if he comes back, is all very vague. If he was to come back and pass on his knowledge to three young lads, then he should be a kicking coach like Richie Murphy was to him. But this whole coming back as part of the management, I don't know. And as Mike said, unfortunately, the landscape has changed. It used to be you brought out a rugby book, you brought it before Christmas. Everybody knew a fat lad or had a fat relation, and they bought them a rugby book for Christmas. Because they thought, grand, they like rugby. Now it's you have to get all the headlines and all this, and people will. Thing is, though, people will have forgotten all this shit by the time Christmas comes around.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like he's still got a full-time job in Ardagh, so where he's like chief people officer or something, which sounds like it's HR, but it's not. He's like a project manager or something. So yeah, I'd love to know what he's coming back as. He was a great leader on the pitch. He was a great player. He could be a shite leader off the pitch because at management, we don't want to go down the Rassie road of Johnny roaming up and down the sidelines with traffic lights and flags and a water bottle and all this shite because he wants to get on and actually talk to the players.
Yeah.
Like he's only come out and said that he wished he said to Andy Farrell if he played for Leinster for another season would he be eligible for the Lions. So like he's only just out the door. So I don't know.
So is it too soon, Dara? Is it too soon in your view for him to be coming back in?
But the thing is, what has he proven as a coach to get into the national setup? Nothing. I mean, look at what O'Gara's achieved. Are we offering O'Gara a chance to come into the Irish coaching squad part-time or anything? It just seems to me like a bit of a headline type thing that won't actually happen.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
All right, folks.
Full-time job
Peter,
outside of rugby.
Peter, did the lads and Off the Ball suggest anything about Sexton coming in could potentially undermine Easterby?
Yes, that is where they were going. Now they stopped short of actually saying it, but that's where they were going with their discussion.
Yeah, but like, I mean, I could see that happening. And like, my father was a teacher principal for 45 years, and Johnny Sexton is no fucking teacher in his personality. I can tell you that right now.
All
right, folks. I tell you what, we're just going to fly through because hold on, there's just a few comments coming in. I just want to fly through them because people watching are good enough to comment and take an interest.
I listen to where, right?
Except Danny Brosnan because he's always there. Yeah.
So Danny Brosnan. Peter O'Mahony is included in the extended panel and will continue his rehab with Munster as he builds towards a return to action. So he's in the squad, but apparently as an extended member.
Okay, extended member. Extended member. Yeah, giggity. Member. Yes, Danny Brosnan personally think he might have been better off leaving for 2 or 3 seasons going a new experience. That's probably about Leo Cullen. Ger Brennan. Leo won't be dismissed like legendary coaches and managers in other sports. He'll go on his service time.
And he should.
Joe Lyons, bottom line, no team has a divine right to win. Leinster have lost out to 2 teams in the past 4 years. 3 games lost, no other team has won as many games. Fine margins in finals, 3 points, 1 point, and overtime. If anyone thinks that's inaccessible, they need to wobble their head. Leo and his team have built a squad and a record-only team in the Rugby Cup grab. Okay. Megan Augusta sent some laughing faces. Thanks, Megan. Kieran Ryan, Leo Cullen hasn't looked in them finals, smallest of margins. They've been beaten by experienced players and they have on the pitch. Should have known to close them out games. Can't blame Cullen for this. Yes. Alan Dorman, I was surprised Leo himself agreed 2 years. I felt he was previously looking to move on. So did I.
I agree with that. I agree with Alan's comment. That's what I thought.
Yeah, Joe Lyons, before people comment on resources, La Rochelle and the Stade and Toulouse are the only teams to turn us over, and both have budgets greater than the whole of the IRFU. But a bit of reality when you hear them figures and resources. Okay.
Good point.
Sorry, I just got a chunk of comments coming in here. Joe Lyons, Kieran missed penalty drop, considered try and injury time. Fine margins are that. It's not even a player or coach, but just damn luck. Megan Augusta, I know that's crossing the line. You have to have a good chipper and Chinese, and most certainly a good place for pints. Reference to Qatar. Yes.
Yeah.
Joe Lyons, it's easy. Hold on to your money when you can refuse to pay workers and have 6,500 people die building your stadiums. All right, Joe. I know, Joe. I agree. I just don't want to go down that rabbit hole. Karen Ryan, money talks going down the way football went. Yes. Mike Sheedy, most dangerous place. Everyone should boycott this before it's too late. Remember, Soccer World Cup is there. People are jailed for nothing. Okay. Megan Augusta, yeah, exactly. It's true. Rugby fan, women, and apart from LGBT community, Qatar is no place for me and many others. It's ridiculous and quite concerning. They think that rugby could go there. They don't care for rugby and never did. Okay.
I'd be arrested before you even got off the plane.
You will be, yes.
I actually nearly got.
Claire looking for a spice bag, and she gets this dodgy bloke in a brown coat going. Spice bag.
Fuck yourself.
My body.
Gerard Brandon.
I'd be arrested before you got off the plane.
Right, hold on. I just want to fly through these, and then we'll go just really quickly through the games that are coming up. Gerard Brandon, Portugal, Spain, Georgia.
You do realise the time.
I know that, but we always go 10, 12, 15, 20 minutes over. It's all right.
Jared Brennan on a Wednesday.
Jared Brennan, exactly, Dave. Nothing else to do on a Wednesday. Jared Brennan, Portugal, Spain, Georgia. If you're trying to promote the game and grow viewers locally, but those countries don't have the finance or the need to sports wash themselves. Good point, Jerry. Yes. Alan Dorman, sorry, just 2 more. My only concern is it's JS coaching on enhancing their games. Yes. And the last one, Alan Dorman, my only concern is Johnny's way or nothing, or is he going to enhance those out halves own games? Okay. Right. Let's just finish on these. Let's just fly through these. Just win, lose, and any reason you think the result is going to change. Mike Reedy, Sharks are entertaining Munster. Munster away. Go. Win, lose. Who?
Concerned, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm concerned. I can't see how they can turn it around so much in a week. That Sharks team is pretty much 14 All Blacks. So I'm sorry, but I don't see
Springboks.
Sausage, you mean?
Sorry?
Sausage. It's 14 Springboks.
Yeah. The South Africans, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Richard Holland, Sharks v Munster.
I can't say anyone but the Sharks.
Okay, Dave Sheedy.
Last week's performance.
All right.
I don't want to say it because I always back my team, but I agree with the other 2 lads, unfortunately.
All right. Claire Devaney, Sharks v Munster.
Sharks.
Okay. Dara Wesson.
Sharks.
All right. Dara Wesson, back to you.
May we all be proved wrong.
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Let's be proved wrong.
Dara Weston, Leinster are entertaining the Lions.
Leinster.
Okay. Claire Devaney.
Leinster, but I reckon they need to play in the second half. especially against the Lions.
All right, good point, Claire. Yes. Dave Sheedy, Leinster playing the Lions.
Leinster at home, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, they're in the arena.
Blue win.
All right, okay. Richard Holland.
Yeah, Leinster, if they play for 80 minutes with a bonus point.
All right, okay. Mike Reedy.
I think Leinster will win it comfortably. The Lions, I watched the Lions play that Italian side at the weekend, and they are fucking shit. They
Okay.
But they still bet them.
Yeah, but
They did. Hold on. Right. Okay. Hold on. One sec. Mike, back to you. Connacht are at home to the Dragons.
Connacht.
Bonus point. Richard. Okay. Bonus point win, Mike. Yeah. All right. Go on, Richard.
Yeah, good night in the sports ground for Connacht. Easy win.
All right. Dave Sheedy.
That could be a tasty game, but I'll back Connacht definitely. But it could be a nice game.
I agree with you. Dave. Yes. Claire Devaney.
Connacht, because they're both used to playing in shite weather.
True. Dara Weston, that particular game.
Connacht to win by 3 tries and Brendan to streak at the end.
Oh no, God, Jesus Christ, the fucking.
As long as he doesn't tell any jokes while he's fucking streaking.
Well, you know he would. Okay, last one, and then we got to wrap it up. Last one, then we got to wrap it up. Dara Weston. Ulster are away to Cardiff.
Ulster.
All right. Claire?
Hopefully Stockdale will get his... I didn't realise that would have been Stockdale's first hat-trick, only for the try that was disallowed. He's never scored a hat-trick in a game.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Every day's a school day. Claire, go on. Cardiff v Ulster.
Ulster.
All right. Dave Sheedy.
Cardiff are generally the best Welsh team, so I'll say Ulster, but it's going to be close, man.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. Richard Holland, what do you think?
Yeah, Ulster, tight game though.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. And last but not least, Mike Reedy, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think Ulster will get the job done as well, but only just as well. You know, I don't see them. They'll have to turn up and do the job.
Why are we all agreeing with each other?
I know.
We haven't heard Bert's predictions, so it doesn't necessarily mean we're
No,
wrong.
I don't do. I'm not doing. Fuck off. I'm not doing predictions.
He won't give it because he'll get slated if he gets even half of one wrong. Poor fella.
He never gets a money right anyway, so it makes no difference.
Whatever I say, put your money on the opposite happening.
Yes, that's it.
Sounds like you're on as his emotional support guest there.
There you go. Right, folks. Listen, that's all we got time for. We're way over time as always. Thankfully, this is changing in November. We're splitting it into 2 shows, one on Monday and one on Thursday, because we just can't fit everything in that we want to talk about. So anyway, that's happening. We'll let you all know when that's happening. I think it was due to start on the 4th of November. But I think it's changed now to the 11th, Claire. Is that right? We're talking.
I think so, but I still not available on the 11th.
Yeah, because you're on holidays. Yeah, anyway.
Yes, I'm on holidays. Yeah.
Okay, folks, listen. Thank you all for.
Sorry. Playing.
All right, folks. Thank you all for watching and commenting, offering your opinions. We do it in conjunction with all of you. We're all fans of the beautiful game, so thank you all for watching and joining me.
We do it for the money.
Offering your opinions. Yeah.
On the free
money? What fucking money are you talking about?
Spice boxes.
The money.
Also. Oh, for Christ's sake, Jesus Christ! I can't. I find it difficult to start. I find it difficult to fucking start the show, and then I find it difficult to fucking end the fucking show. So we just.
I've said
all the insurance, all right.
Jesus Christ! My thanks also to familiar faces to you all: Mike Reedy, Richard Holland, Dave Sheedy,
cheers,
Claire Devaney, and Dara Weston. Folks, enjoy the rest of your evening, and we will do it all again next week. Good luck.
Good night, folks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.